Hello and welcome to lesson number 7 for Reignite Hope. And please take notes again as always. And today we're going to talk more about the welding symbol. We've started on that already. We've got our welding symbol here on the board, the basics of it here. In fact, today all I'm going to do is actually go through quiz number 7. I'll show you exactly all the symbols that'll be there, and you should do great on the quiz, okay? But let's remember, our reference line is the horizontal line here. This is our tail. This is our arrow. And remember, anything we write below the reference line is called the arrow side, telling us what we're going to do on the arrow side of the joint. So if we've got a T-joint here, for example, it's telling me what I'm going to do over here, whereas all the information up above the line is other side information, telling me what I'm going to do over here. Okay, so let's get started, and the first symbol that we're going to have on our quiz is going to be this, and we learned that as our square groove symbol. Square groove, and that's when we have two pieces of metal that come together with squared edges like that. And in this case, it's a double square groove, so they're wanting us to not only do a square groove weld on the arrow side, they also want us to weld on the other side of the square groove. So here's arrow side right up here, right, where the arrow's pointing, and here's the other side right down there. So we would weld it on one side, flip it over, weld the other side. So the answer to number 1 would be double square groove weld, or you could say square groove arrow side, square groove other side. Either way would be great. Next, we're going to have our V groove symbol. We remember what that looked like, hopefully. And so here on the quiz, we're going to have this. We're going to have a double V groove. Kind of looks like an X when they want both of them, okay? And so on something like that, we're going to have a piece of metal that kind of looks like this. We'd have two pieces of metal coming together. Maybe there's a little flat sometimes in between, depending on how they cut the metal. And now we've got a V groove on this side, a V groove down here, and this is, of course, is the arrow side, the side the arrow's pointing to. Well, they want it on both sides, right? So you're going to do a weld over here on this side, and you're going to do a weld there on that side. So the answer would be a double V groove weld, or you could say V groove weld arrow side, V groove weld other side. Either way would be fine. And then we're going to have very similar to that, but not the same, is our bevel groove weld. Keep in mind, these are all at the bottom of page 36 in your notebook, and they're all listed on page 34 in your notebook as well. So now our bevel groove symbol is like this. It looks a little like the V groove, but one side is straight, the other side is beveled. When we want both of them, now that looks like a K, doesn't it, is what it looks like there. So on something like that, what would that look like on metal? We'd have something like this. We'd have a piece of metal where one side is squared off, it's straight, in other words, and then we'd have something like this, a beveled piece of metal coming down here, maybe a flat in between, could be a point, either way. But now again, they want you to weld the bevel over on this side and on this side. This would be the arrow side, this would be the other side. Double bevel groove weld is the answer, or bevel groove weld arrow side, bevel groove weld on the other side. Okay, now we're going to go back and revisit our good old T-joint and our fillet welds. And so if we had our T-joint here, and our symbol this time is going to be the fillet weld symbol, which we've learned before. And it looks like we're going to have two of them. So we're going to have a fillet weld up here on the arrow side, or the other side, excuse me. And we also want a fillet weld on the arrow side. Now this time we're also going to add fractions to it. So this time we've got a 3/8 of an inch written there. and 1/4 of an inch there. Keep in mind that remember refers to the leg length.